In the shadowy depths of conspiracy and the uncharted realms of reality lies an astonishing claim. A riveting interview with a non-human entity from December 1999. Brace yourself, for this is no work of fiction. It is presented as the absolute truth, leaving you to ponder the unfathomable. Interviewer: first of all, could you introduce yourself? Are you an extraterrestrial species, or is your origin rooted on this planet?
Answer: as you can see, I am clearly not a human being like you. To be honest, I'm not a true mammal, despite some of my body features being the result of evolution. I am a female reptile belonging to a very ancient reptilian race known as the native Terrans. We have inhabited this planet for millions of years and have been referenced in your religious texts, such as the Christian Bible, as well as by many ancient human tribes, including the Egyptians and Incas. Unfortunately, your Christian religion has misunderstood our role in your creation, casting us as the evil serpent in your writings. This is incorrect. Your species was genetically engineered by extraterrestrials, and we were merely passive observers of this accelerated evolution process. Some of your scientists have already suggested this, as your species evolved at an impossibly rapid pace in just 2 to 3 million years. This is because your creation was artificial, a result of genetic engineering, but not by our hands. So, in answer to your question, I am not an extraterrestrial. We have colonies in the solar system, but originate on this planet. In fact, it's our planet, not yours. It was never yours.
Question: are UFOs real flying objects piloted by extraterrestrials, or do they belong to your species?
Answer: some UFOs, or unidentified flying objects as you call them, do belong to our species. However, many are of human or other alien origins. When you spot a metallic cigar-shaped craft with red lights on top, it's likely one of ours. We also have disc-shaped craft, but triangular UFOs are generally of human military origin, using reverse-engineered technology. For sightings, keep an eye on the skies over the Arctic, Antarctic, and Asian mountain regions.
Question: how old are you?
Answer: we measure time differently, not in astronomical years or the Earth's revolution around the Sun, as we typically reside beneath the planet's surface. Our time measurement is based on periodically recurring cycles in the Earth's magnetic field. According to this, and translated into your numbers, I am currently 57,653 cycles old. I reached my adult phase approximately 16,337 cycles ago. This is a significant milestone for us, considering your human timescale. So, to put it in terms you can relate to, I'm around 28 years old.
Question: what is your purpose or role? Do you have a job like we do?
Answer: in your terms, I'm a curious student of your species' social behavior. That's why I'm here, engaging in this conversation with you. I'm eager to share secret information and answer your questions as honestly as possible. I'm interested in observing your reactions, as well as those of others in your species. There are many falsehoods and misconceptions propagated by some of your kind about us, UFOs and aliens. Regrettably, some believe these lies. I'm intrigued to see how your species will respond when I reveal the truth. I suspect that most of you will reject my words, but I hope I'm mistaken, because understanding the truth is crucial for your survival in the coming years.
Question: have you a special symbol or something like that with which we can identify your kind?
When you spot a metallic cigar-shaped craft with red lights on top, it's likely one of ours. We also have disc-shaped craft, but triangular UFOs are generally of human military origin, using reverse-engineered technology. For sightings, keep an eye on the skies over the Arctic, Antarctic, and Asian mountain regions. We have two major symbols representing our species. One, the more ancient symbol, is a blue serpent with 4 white wings on a black background. The colors have religious meanings for us. This symbol was used from certain parts of my society, but it is today very seldom. You humans have copied it very often in your old writings. The other symbol is a mystic being you would call a dragon, in the shape of a circle with 7 white stars in the middle. This symbol is much more common today. If you see one of that symbols on a cylindrical craft I've described in my previous answer, or on some underground installation, this thing or place belongs definitely to us, and I would advise you to go away from there as soon as possible.
Question. The 7 stars in the second symbol you've mentioned, do they mean the Pleiades?
Answer. Pleiades? No. Actually, the 7 stars are planets and moons, and they are a symbol for our former 7 colonies in the solar system. The stars are shown in front of a blue background, and the dragon circle means the shape of Earth. The 7 white stars mean Moon, Mars, Venus, and 4 moons of Jupiter and Saturn we had colonized in the past. 2 colonies are no longer in use and abandoned, so 5 stars would be more correct.
Question. Have you a tail like normal reptiles?
Answer. Do you see one? No, we have no visible tail. If you look at our skeleton, there is only a small rounded bone at the end of our spine behind the pelvis. This is a useless rudiment of the tail of our ancestors, but it is not visible from the outside. Oh, our embryos have tails during the first months of development, but these tails disappear before they were born. A tail makes only sense for a primitive species, which tries to walk on 2 legs and must hold the balance with the tail. But our skeleton had changed during evolution, and our spine is nearly in the same shape as yours, so we need no tail to stay on 2 feet.
Question. You said that you were born in a different way to us. Do you lay eggs?
Answer. Yes, but not like your birds or primitive reptiles. Actually, the embryo grows in a protein liquid inside the mother's womb, but there is also an egg-shaped but very thin chalk hull around it that fills the whole womb. The embryo inside this hull is completely autarky from the mother's body, and it has every substance it needs to develop inside this chalk hull. There is also a cord, like your navel cord, which is connected to a point hidden behind the back plates. When the baby is going to be born, the whole egg is pressed through birth canal covered in a slimy protein substance, and the baby came out of this soft egg after some minutes. These 2 horns on our middle fingers were instinctively used from babies to break through the chalk hull to take their first breath. Our young are not so large as your babies when they were born. They are between 30 and 35 of your centimeters tall. The egg is around 40 centimeters tall. This is because our birth canal is smaller than a human one, but we grow to a normal size of 160 to 180 meters.
Question. What about your body temperature? You've said that you enjoy laying in the sun. What effect has this on your organism?
Answer. We are no mammals, and as reptiles, our body temperature depends on the temperature of our surroundings. If you touch my hand, you will maybe feel that it is colder than yours, because our normal body temperature is around 30 to 33 degrees Celsius. If we sit in the sun, especially naked and with our row of small backplates in the sun, our body temperature can rise for 8 or 9 degrees within minutes. This rise causes a production of many enzymes and hormones in our body, our heart and brain, and every organ becomes more active, and we feel then very, very good. You humans only enjoy being in the sun, but for us, it is the greatest pleasure you can imagine, maybe like your sexual excitement. We also enjoy swimming in very warm water or other liquids to raise our body temperature. If we are for some hours in the shadow, our temperature goes back to 30 to 33 degrees. This can cause no harm to us, but we feel much better in the sun. We have artificial sunrooms in the underground, but this is not the same for us like the real sun.
Question. What do you eat?
Answer. Generally various things like you. Flesh, fruit, vegetables, special kinds of fungus from subterranean farms, and other things. We can also eat and digest some substances which are poisonous for you. The main difference between you and us is that we must eat flesh because our body needs the proteins. We can't live completely vegetarian like your kind because our digestion would stop working and we would die after some weeks or maybe months, without flesh. Many of us eat raw flesh or other things which would be disgusting for you. Personally, I prefer cooked flesh and surface fruits like apples or oranges.
Question. Can you tell me something about the natural history and evolution of your species?
Answer. This is a very long and complex story, and it sounds certainly unbelievable to you, but it's the truth. I will try to explain it in short. Around 65 million years ago, many of our unadvanced ancestors from the dinosaur race died in a great global cataclysm. The reason for this destruction was not a natural disaster, an asteroid impact as your scientists believe falsely, but a war between two enemy alien groups that took mainly place in the orbit and high atmosphere of your planet. According to our limited knowledge about the early days, this global war was the first alien war on planet Earth, but it was definitely not the last, and a future war is coming soon, while a Cold War, as you call it, between alien groups is ongoing since the last 73 years on your planet. The opponents in this 65 million year old war were two advanced alien species, whose both names are not pronounceable for your tongues. I'm able to say them, but it would hurt your ear if I tell you the names in their original way. One race was humanoid like your species, but much older, and was from this universe, from a solar system in the star constellation you call Procyon today in your maps.
Question. First of all, you handle a very large timescale. You claim that your primitive ancestors lived together with the dinosaurs, survived the, as you called it, artificial cataclysm, and evolved over 40 million years. Your evolution was supposedly completed 10 million years ago. This sounds very unbelievable to me. Can you shed some light on this?
Answer. I understand that this must sound absolutely unbelievable to you, given that you are a young and genetically engineered species. Your historical horizon ends at a scale of just some thousands of years, and you might find such extensive timelines difficult to grasp. Our evolution time may seem incredibly long to you, but this is, in fact, the original way of nature. Your early mammal ancestors developed alongside dinosaurs, survived the cataclysm like us, and evolved slowly over millions of years, giving rise to various species. The difference is that your species achieved intelligence and consciousness relatively quickly in the last 2 to 3 million years. This accelerated evolution, however, is not natural, and we believe your species may have evolved in an accelerated and unnatural way.
You've mentioned many facts about the ancient war between the aliens 65 million years ago. This happened long before your kind became really intelligent, as far as I have understood you. Why do you know so many things about that first war and about the evolution of your species?
This is a good question, and I haven't explained it properly before. Our knowledge about the First War comes from an ancient artifact found approximately 16,000 years ago by our archaeologists on the continent you call North America today. It was a round plate made of an unknown magnetic material, containing a smaller crystal plate with coded information. This memory plate was created by the last survivors of the human race from Procyon 65 million years ago. Our scientists decoded the information, revealing detailed descriptions of both species, the events, weapons used, and even the fusion bomb. This artifact, combined with the study of skeletons and DNA, forms the basis of our understanding of our evolution. Before finding this plate, our knowledge about our roots was more religious in nature.
Question. What happened to both alien species involved in the ancient war?
We don't know exactly. The surviving humanoids on Earth apparently died in the years after the bomb, and the reptilians never returned, as far as we know. There is a possibility that it was physically impossible for the reptilian aliens to return, considering the movement of matter between bubbles. The current theory is that both species might have ceased to exist over the millions of years.
Question. You've mentioned skeletons of your kind. How is it that human scientists haven't found any trace of you and your ancestors if you've really lived for such a long time on this planet?
Answer. Your scientists have found some skeletons, but they struggle to reconstruct them accurately because they approach the task with the assumption that these were reptilian animals, not intelligent beings. Many saurian skeletons in your museums are incorrectly constructed, with bones from different creatures pieced together. Some skeletons, especially those of our kind, were even used for the reconstruction of other species like iguanodon. Additionally, as we've lived mostly beneath the earth for thousands of years, you won't find cadavers or skeletons on the surface.
Question. You speak about underground cities and artificial sunlight. Do you mean something like a hollow Earth?
Answer: no, Earth is not entirely hollow, and there is no second sun inside. The idea of a hollow Earth is ridiculous and physically impossible. Our subterranean homes are large cave systems, particularly beyond the Arctic, Antarctic, Inner Asia, North America, and Australia. Artificial sunlight in our cities comes from various technological sources of light, including gravitational sources, illuminating the caverns and tunnels. We also have surface sun places in remote areas, especially in America and Australia.
Question. Where can we find a surface near entry to your world?
Answer: I won't disclose the exact location. If you want to find an entry, you have to search for it yourself, though I advise against it. Generally, look for a special kind of artificial and smooth wall somewhere in a cave with a door made of grey metal. If you find such an entry, be cautious, as not every underground installation belongs to our kind. Some are operated by other alien races, including hostile ones.
Question. You mentioned earlier that you use the name Lacerta when among humans. How can you be among humans without being recognized as a different species?
Answer: we use telepathy to induce in the human mind the command, "See us as one of your kind." The weak human mind generally accepts this order without resistance, and they see us, despite our reptilian appearance, as normal humans. This ability, known as mimicry, allows us to walk among humans without being recognized. I've personally used this technique to appear as an attractive brown-haired woman, creating a mimicry image in my mind.
Question. Can you really make me believe that I talk now with an attractive brown-haired human woman instead of a reptilian being like you?
Probably, but not in your case. Since our first meeting, you have seen me in my original appearance. If I were to change this now, it might lead to confusion or unconsciousness, and I have no intention of harming you. Killing with these abilities goes against our principles, though it has happened in the past.
What about photos? How do you appear on photos?
I appear on photos as a reptilian being because I can't influence the photo or the camera itself, only the photographer's mind. If someone were to develop the film and show the photo, they would see me in my original shape. This is why it's forbidden for our kind to be filmed or photographed.
What other commands can your kind induce into our minds?
While there's no direct serve us or obey switch in the human mind, it's possible to induce certain commands depending on the strength of the human mind and the reptilian inducer. However, such attempts are generally more difficult.
Do both sexes have these abilities?
Yes.
Why describe people who saw alien beings so many different and bizarre types of them?
Most alien races possess advanced mind abilities, allowing them to appear in various forms in your mind and memory. The induced image has nothing to do with their real appearance. People remember them differently because the aliens want it that way, either to confuse or make abduction witnesses seem ridiculous.
Like, comment and subscribe for part 2.